guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to the InuYasha vlogs, and, oh boy, I've got some mixed feelings about this one. So, when I went into this next episode with the title, with the preview from last time, which was the title, The Ancestor Named Kagome, I was thinking, okay, it's just gonna be a simple episode. No! This had ended up being like 4 parts long. 4 parts! And it's for a plot that's kind of dumb. Okay, so what's the story of this 4-part arc that I don't even remember the name of? So basically this episode is about, apparently, we actually start off with Kagome doing studies at her school in the present time, and she's hanging out with her classmates, and then Hojo comes in, y'all remember him, right? And shows a scroll that shows his family's heritage, and one of the names of one of the ancestors is Kagome, which means that there was a Kagome in the feudal era that married Hojo. Now Kagome goes to the feudal era, so it's like, uh-oh, is this a coinky-dink, or is this, like, legit history? That sort of starts us off, but then we go to the feudal era, and we catch up with Akitoki Hojo, who is Hojo's ancestor, who you all may have remembered from the pointless second movie! You made this movie relevant, how dare you, show! So, he is here, and basically reunites with our heroes, and he's on a quest. He goes to Kaede's village, so Kaede's in this episode. That's a cool thing, we haven't seen her in a while. And basically explains that there is this ancient blade that he has to take to the southern parts of the land. So Kaede says, okay, go that direction, that'll take you to where you need to go. So we have this whole entire quest where they go south, but that would lead you past Isengard. Well, maybe. But to the point, they basically go on this quest and they come across ninjas, demon ninjas, who are trying to hunt them down. And these villains turn out to be a bit formidable for them. They're trying to fight them off. They're really having a hard time. But then you have a demon who shows up, who looks oddly familiar to Minomaru. He is in no way related to the fuck. So he comes in and says, that sword is mine, I need it to fill the second half of my other sword so I can basically annihilate humanity. So InuYasha tries to fight him, and then it turns out this sword's pretty powerful. It actually disables Tetsaiga for a bit, along with everybody else's powers. He grabs the sword throughout all these different series of events. Kagome and Hojo try to help each other out, and, well, forming a little bit of a kindled friendship and relationship here and there. And then eventually we find out that this demon was very much like InuYasha, where he fell in love with a mortal woman with spiritual powers, and then she betrayed him because of the safety of this evil demon sword. Now this demon sword, believe it or not, is relevant even more because it was forged by Kaijimbo. Now if you guys remember who Kaijimbo was all the way back in, I think, Season 2, he was the one who forged Sashomaru's sword, Tokijin, which was the sword forged from Goshinki, one of Naraku's incarnations. So layer after layer, this is like a really deep matter of lore in this episode. Surprisingly for a filler. And by the end of it, all is resolved. This demon is defeated. The spirit of the priestess comes in to free him, along with InuYasha defeating him with his Tetsaiga. And we're back on the main course again. Now this arc, for 4 parts long, that's my biggest issue. This did not need to be 4 parts long. But I think there's a reason for this. This felt like a plot to a movie, one of the InuYasha films. And maybe it was the plot to the 3rd one or the 4th one, but the studios probably came in and told the writer, this is kind of dumb. You just want to do a follow-up to the 2nd movie, and we want to continue on with the lore of the show, where there's like, we want the next film to deal with the swords and the brothers and the father. So why don't we take your plot and convert it to 4 filler episodes to pass the time so we can have more time so Takahashi can keep writing the graphic novel. And I guess the writer was like, yeah, okay, sure. And that's what this feels like. This feels like a movie. This feels like almost a TV movie, which they should have done. This should have been a television special, because you're dealing with a long, lengthy storyline that follows up mostly not just on episodes from like the second season, but you're following up with episodes that continue what happened at the end of the second movie, which, okay, so full disclosure for anybody who has not seen my review of the second film, I think it is the weakest of the 4 films, which is heresy to some fans, because some fans love this movie, say it's the best because InuYasha Kagome kissed. That kiss wasn't earned. I'm sorry, it was way too soon, and this whole movie just felt like fan service to me. So to see them follow up on this movie is a tad strange. We didn't need to bring back Hojo. We knew what his plight was. He went on with the quest afterwards. His arc was complete. Why do you have to keep this up? I guess it's a way to start closing down the potential love relationship between Hojo, his ancestor, and Kagome, and kind of just, like, knock that down. I mean, we kind of already had that in the dry food arc at the start of the season, I guess to sort of set up that Hojo, but we had to wrap up things with this Hojo. So maybe it was the same writer who wrote that is writing this now. I will say the villain is very interesting. It is sort of a mirror of what InuYasha could have become if he had embraced his demon side, which I think is interesting. But on top of that, he looks way too much like Monomaru. I'm sorry. Like, I was surprised. I remember when these episodes were coming out in the early 2000s, early days of the internet, I would try to find, like, leaks and stuff of the next episodes, and I saw this, and I'm like, wait, isn't that Monomaru from the first movie? And no, this is in no way related. He's not even the same type of demon. He's not even a moth demon, which I think had they wrote this in that this guy was the son of Monomaru, that he was the next generation to pass down of the Hyuga clan, I think actually would have made not just movie 2 relevant, would have made the first one relevant, the first film. And it would have been great to go back to that, because I do think that the Battle of Hyuga is a huge, important plot to the backstory of InuYasha's father that we never fully explore in the series onwards. And that's a shame. It's open to so much interpretation, which, fuck it, maybe I'll do. But to the point is that, like, had you made this, like, the son of Monomaru, I actually think this would have been a good plight and put that storyline to a close, that he almost did become good, unlike his family's legacy, and then it turned out to bite him in the ass, and he chose a totally different path. The other thing this kind of takes a lot of is the third movie, because you're dealing with swords. You're dealing with ancient swords brought together and battling a demon who has a powerful sword. So it's almost like they said, let's take the 3 films and combine them into a 4-part TV special, or at least a movie. And had this been released as a film, I will admit it probably would have not done well, and it's probably why they chose not to proceed it as a film instead of 4-part episode. And it was good that rather than release it as a television special, they had it out week by week for 4 weeks. That gave actually Takahashi more time to catch up. So in a way, this arc is kind of pointless, but there is some things here and there that actually make it worthwhile. And with overall, the animation's pretty good, the action set pieces are great, the plot's engaging. I only have another big problem. I fucking hate Hojo's ancestor. Okay, in the second movie, I wouldn't say the first movie, the second movie, he was a twit. He was somewhat annoying, but he was charming here and there. He did hold his own for comic relief with Shippo, which I also do like that they continued that, where Shippo is his vassal, or like Hojo is Shippo's vassal and everything. So I did like how they continued that arc. However, this one, he is really fucking bad. He is annoying. He is Willie Scott, Temple of Doom annoying. I hate this character. I hate what they've done to him. He was okay in the second movie, but this, he's insufferable. He's not only a wimp, he's not only acting all clumsy and goofy, like Jar Jar Binks level of clumsy, but there's a moment where he immediately just says, I love Kagome, I want to marry her, and this and that. It's like really like, whoa, dude, whoa. Whoa, you don't even have chemistry with her, and you're already proposing, you're already admitting your love to her, but on top of that, you try to kiss her while she's sleeping. Bro, not cool. Not fucking cool, bro. You don't do that. That is creepy. I'm sorry, they neutered Hojo's ancestor. They neutered this character. It makes me not like him as a character. I think he is one of the most annoying points of the series. I'll take Shippo over this fuck any day. At least Shippo has a character and does good things, but this guy's just insufferable. Oh my god! Yeah, this episode's conflicting. This arc is very conflicting because there's moments I think are okay and kind of call back to the movies and the lore of the show, but then you have parts that are just so insufferable, that are so annoying, and that sucks. This could have been a great arc had you added more from the films and made those more canonical, which they are. Don't get me wrong, these films are canon to the series, but to make them more canonical and add to it by expanding it in the show's storyline would have been brilliant, but they didn't do that to the extent I was hoping for. They don't even mention the events of the second film. They never look up at Hojo and say, hey, I remember you were with us when we defeated Princess Kaguya. No mention of Kaguya. Like, it feels like they were almost constrained to not mention the films as far as just what they could use. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate that that is the case. So, I'll be real with you guys. I'm not a big fan of this one. I do think there are stuff in it that I do like, but most of the time, this is completely pointless. This is another case of filler, and we've been having those lately. It's like, come on, let's get to the plot. We're like, I think this is like, what, the third disc I'm on? Yeah, it's like the third disc, the third or fourth disc, and it's like, we're not even close to a plot yet. We're not even close to this. I mean, this is next week, or next time, but yeah, it sucks that we're just only maybe about the halfway point. We haven't had much plot, and that sucks. It's the same thing with Season 4. So, I'm hoping this isn't the case going forward. I hope we finally get to some actual stories now. But this one, I could say, like, okay, if this was an abridged series and you cut it down to, like, 2 episodes, it'd be fine. Or at least 1 episode. But the fact it's 4 parts long, I'm sorry, it's insufferable. It feels like this is the Garlic Jr. arc of the show. If you guys don't know what that means, in Dragon Ball Z, in between the Frieza saga and the Android saga, when Trunks shows up, you had the Garlic Jr. saga, which continued after the events of the first Dragon Ball Z movie, Dead Zone. And they're overall pointless. I mean, all they show is that Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin could take care of Garlic Jr. at this point, but it's the same thing here. This just feels like padded filler. And it has no relevance to any other points in the show. So, I mean, even at the end, there's another thing. At the end, there's a post-credit scene, and those don't happen often on this series. And the post-credit scene has it where Hojo does meet an ancestor named Kagome, but she's not related to the Higurashi family. So, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with this one. I felt it really dragged. It didn't need to be 4 parts long. The villain's kind of pointless. Had you made it part of the villain of the first movie, you would have had to find its taste. Hojo has been completely butchered as an annoying piece of shit character. So, I'm going to give this maybe about a 4 or 5 out of 10. It had a good premise, but it didn't deliver enough. So let me know your thoughts on this arc in the comments below. Don't forget to support our Patreon. Just $1 more will get you early access to all of our content as well as other special features. Join us next time when we finally see this fuck on a horse show up, because I've been looking forward to this villain for quite a while. So until the next video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off saying, if you're gonna do something with these movies in the show, just make them more impactful. Make it more important. I don't know. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.